Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Nightingale Plays Factorio. Buses, planes, trains, and automobiles. Alright, so we have got carbon, nickel, which we don't care about, tin, and lead. So we have got all our components for our circuit boards, and once we can get that done, we can abandon the other base truly and finally. I know I haven't been there in many episodes, but I go there between just about every episode. So what are we going to need here? So we were trying to build this. Basic circuit boards, solder, electric components. Okay, so let's work on the solder. Solder we're going to need for a bunch of stuff, so it's going to go on the bus. What did I have it as? Did I have it as its own full belt or half a belt? Yeah, it's got a full belt for solder is what I allocated. And same thing for the resistors. Okay, but solder. Solder is solder plate and resin. Resin's something that's going to go on the bus as well, because there's a couple things that need resin, like the phenolic boards and other things. So let's get some resin production going, because that's actually quite easy. So resin is, no, not wood. We're not doing it that way. That's the silly way. Heavy oil. So resin looks just like this. So that is a chemical plant. And I have 7 chemical plants just sitting right there. So let's do 3 spaces down and just give it a little bit of extra room there. And we'll do sort of like this, actually. Those are a bit higher. Make them line up with those. Yeah, like that. And we'll do 6 of them for now. Actually, we got... let's do 10. Okay. So we are going to need to hook those up to the heavy oil. Get the hookups in between. Actually start bringing the oil in. No, we're not going to stretch that far. Where's the heavy oil? Okay. So we're going to need to start extending out this bus. Oh, another thing I'm going to need to build is steel pipes. I don't have those actually being built anywhere. There. Is that all we have on this bus right now? Okay, heavy oil. Just like that. Okay, this is not where that should be. Okay, that works. Alright, so you guys have got everything you need to start producing. So we're going to get that up on the bus, figure out where it goes in a bit. Definitely not going to be in here, I know that much. And outputs. Come on. Okay, power it up and we will be good to go. Alright, so we got resin coming up. So resin, I had going somewhere in this chain. It doesn't particularly matter where. So we'll just bring it up to the next in line. Alright, that is resin. So resin is going into solder. Solder is going to take solder plate, Bob items. So solder plate and resin. So solder plate is a material. It's tin and lead in a chemical furnace. So blue furnace. Or sorry, a metal mixing furnace. And we can build a lot of those. So let's kind of figure out the ratio here. 11 solder plate in 7 seconds. Oh, that's a terrible ratio. I need to get my calculator for that one. Let's do that. Okay, so we're going to make 11 in 7 seconds. So that's 1.57 per second, which is going to make solder. So then we're going to use 4 of those every 2 seconds, so 2 per second. So one thing producing solder plate is not quite enough to do these. So if I do 2 solder plates, that's 3. That's 1.5. If I do 4, that's 3. So it's like a 4-to-3 ratio, roughly. Okay, so let's do 12 and 9 or 12 and 10 or something like that. So if we bring... Okay, so we want to make solder. So we've already got what we want, half of what we want there. So solder is made in just a regular assembler. So what do we say? So solder can go out here. You're going to get a long inserter to put this in. That'll be our resin, and then we just need to make the solder plate over here, and the solder can go out over there. Keep getting messed up whenever I Alt-Tab to do something else. Need to change that key binding. I don't want it to be Alt anymore. Okay, so the one problem is that this is probably going to go down further than these. We can always make adjustments. I actually don't need that much solder. That's going a little bit overboard. Let's do 4 solder and see how that goes. Okay, so now you just need the solder plate, which we'll do on a little mini bus up. So what was it? It was 1 solder plate can do, I forget which one was the one producing more. 11 solder plate in 7 seconds, that's 1.5 per second. And these were consuming it at 2 per second. So they are not producing fast enough, so we need more. So this belt should go up. So metal mixing furnaces, we actually have quite a few. So you're going to be making solder plate. And you are going to need some form of fuel. So that is something I forgot to consider when I was doing this bus. I don't have any fuel, and I'm at a bit of a ways away from the electronic one. So I could make solder plate elsewhere, and that's one option. In fact, was that what I was maybe intending? No, I don't see solder plate anywhere on here. Wait, is that solder plate? No, that's CPUs. Okay, so this is mostly stuff that's being built right on the bus. This is mostly stuff that's coming from the metal smelting. Oh, we could change it and go build the solder plate over there. There's no reason it has to be done here. We could use the heavy or petroleum. We could use petroleum and build some solid fuel and fuel these with solid fuel. Somehow I'm thinking that feels like the easiest option. Okay, so you're going to have your stuff coming in, and then we're going to have to do solid fuel. I can do solid fuel on the other side of this bus, so you are going to output onto the near side. So we go down here and have something producing solid fuel. That'll work out. Okay, so I think petroleum is going to be my best option for making solid fuel. You know what, that works out, because right now I don't have anything using up the petroleum. So having something sucking that petroleum down is going to help me not have to deal with issues of having too much petroleum, which is not something that you have in the base game, but definitely in Bob's Mods you get that. Alright, solid fuel. I believe that is going to be a chemical plant. So let's just do something like that, and you... solid fuel from hydrogen, solid fuel from petroleum. So 2 petroleum gas is going to make 1 solid fuel versus 1 light oil, or 2 heavy oil. So light oil, I think, is the best way to do it, but petroleum's what we've got. So petroleum's what we're going to use. Okay, and you need to get output onto the... So you're outputting on the closed side, so you're going to go on the far side. So this regular old inserter right here. There we go. We've got some fuel. So fuel, this isn't going to take up that much fuel, so I'm sure it'll be fine if I just go like that. Okay, perfect. So we need to power these up, get them as resources, and we should be producing solder pretty quickly here. And I think I'm going to run out of electric poles real quick here. So let's build some of those. Another thing I need to have building properly somewhere in the main bus area. I think in an episode or 2, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go and build a whole bunch of things that I need. Because it's getting annoying not having them. Oops, that way to there. Do you guys need to continue on? Not sure. Might as well. I think there's other stuff that uses it. So middle mixing furnaces. So we've got 4 there. We need more of these. But this is going up. Yeah, that makes no sense. This has 1.7, this uses 2. This should be going down. Yep, I screwed that up, which means my solid fuel thing is not going to work, which is rather unfortunate. So let's cut you off before you fill that up too much. Okay, solid fuel, actually I can hold the solid fuel in my inventory. It's a useful thing to have. So you're going to go down. You are not going to get reused. Instead, the solid fuel can go just up along here. And you're going to be a problem. You are going to be a problem. Alright, so solid fuel on the bottom, except for here. And other inserters there, and you can output from the top. And now you can use this guy to output here. And now we just got to power everything up. Alright, so what's missing? Should be making solid fuel. Oh, you are not powered up. Okay, solid fuel's going on the bus. You guys need a recipe set. Now you're going to load up with pretty much everything. You guys are going to start taking solder plate in and outputting solder. You're doing it already. Okay. That's looking good. Alright, so solder. I did say I wanted both sides. Well, whatever. We'll do that here. Hey, look, it's on both sides. Okay, so this is producing, seems to be producing way faster than I'm taking it, which means we don't need to add more of these. Yeah, I'll worry about ratios a little bit more later. Okay, so we've got our solder. Basic circuit boards, we've got electronic components. So resistors, tinned copper wire, and carbon. Carbon I've got. Tinned copper wire is copper cable and tin plate. Copper cable is obviously copper. Okay, where were we? So this is something that's going to go on the bus again. This is made in an assembly machine, so I don't need to worry about fuel. Same with the tinned copper wire. Okay, so 3 copper cable makes 3 tinned copper wire. So it's 3 to 1, because it takes a half second, and these take... No, they take 2 seconds. These ratios. Oh, no. They take 0.5 seconds, but they make 2 of them. So 2 per second versus 3 per second. So if we build 3 into 2. So 3 into 2, and then you grab the tin, and we've got a bunch. Okay, so that's the ideal ratio there. So let's do this. Copper in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You are the copper cable guy. You are the tinned copper wire. Okay, and then you just need tin added. So we'll do tin in and whatever you're doing out. Tin copper wire is not something I wanted on the bus, was it? Don't believe so. No, it's just probably not used in quite enough things. Just figured I'd produce it locally wherever I needed it. Also, the compression ratios kind of suck. 2.5 raw resources to make 3. That's actually not that bad. Okay, which means this is going to go into our resistor production. So resistors need 1 tinned copper wire and 1 carbon. Okay, so this can just be... So this is a bus coming down for our tin, bus going up for our tinned copper wire, and you can be a resistor producer. You're just going to need some carbon here. Okay, so what do we need? We need copper coming in here. Okay, we've got our copper. We need tin coming in here. So tin, if we go like that, tin is the one on the bottom. That's unfortunate. So if we go like that, then tin is the one on that side. So then we can go like that, and get only tin. Perfect. Except then this has nowhere to go. So that'll still work, we just need to do it here. Okay, so that's that one. This is just going to stay on the bus. You are going to take in carbon. Just get rid of that extra stuff. Tinned copper wire, which we've got there. and carbon, which we'll have coming in a sec. So carbon's last. So carbon is up here with nickel, I guess. So carbon is on the top, so that one is a little bit easier to deal with. So we can go like that, and like that. You skip over, you guys go over there. Out of belt. Not very far to get more though. That extra yellow belt. Alright, so we got carbon coming in. Do we have, why not? Carbon, tin copper wire. Put it in. Oh, you're just full of resistors. Okay, so that means it's working. Doing what it should. Okay, so resistors we wanted on the bus somewhere up here, so we'll put it right above the solder. Which we need to extend way out. Okay. Should actually output. All right, definitely going to need more than one outputter on this guy. It's down to 0. Looks like I would have actually been able to do it with just one. Hard to say. Actually, it's easy to say. Let's just watch. 1, 2, 1. All right, yep, it can do it just fine with one. All right, so I think that's going to be it for this episode. So next episode, I will finish off the circuit production. I just need to think a little bit about how I want to do these, scale these resistors. I could mirror this, but that just feels like it takes up so much space. So really, all I need to do is the next one below it, which I can just quickly build right now, use one of these to output instead. And there we go. We've got 2 sides of the belt. Yeah, so let's go with that. Yeah, so I'm going to figure out how much I want to copy this out, and then that's going to lead into my circuit board production. We're almost there. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit the like or subscribe button, and we will see you next time.